Good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining me this morning, or perhaps you're going to tune in later and take a little time for yourself, a time for relaxation, a time for meditation. It happens to be Valentine's Day today, and regardless of the very commercialized aspect of this holiday here in the United States and elsewhere, I did choose the topic for today's meditation to be love. And that's because love is always a wonderful construct, a wonderful things to take a look at. Very often we get very confused about what love is, what it means, and how do we handle love in our personal emotional space. In the Buddhist tradition, there is the concept of grandmother's love, and that's this idea of this all-encompassing, compassionate love that expects nothing in return, and so disappointment doesn't come into play, and so attachment doesn't take place. And of course, perhaps we all aspire for that kind of love. A love without attachment, a love without expectation. And I'm not sure that in the human experience we can have that long term. Perhaps we all have glimpses of it or experiences with it. Maybe, at least for me, the easiest experience of that kind of love is actually the love that I have for my dogs. There is no complication. There is just this purity, this joy of having them in my life, the happiness with which they greet me when I come home after I've been gone for about 10 minutes. And just that look that they give you. And even that can be sometimes marred by, I don't know, an episode of illness, of difficulty of finding a babysitter, of all kinds of things really play, even here. So, love. What is love? What is true love? What is really love maybe from the Buddhist perspective? I recently read an article that describes the 4 elements of love. I think this was by Thich Nhat Hanh. No longer with us, but his teachings, of course, are here and still spreading. And maybe that's what we'll explore today, that concept of love, of true love, which could be romantic love, or love for our earth, or a great love for a pet, or friendship love. All kinds of loves out there on this special day, and that's the exploration. So, like always, I invite you to find yourself a comfortable position. Perhaps sitting, maybe lying down. Just allowing the comfort of the positioning of your body to invite relaxation. Perhaps it's a way of expressing love for yourself, a break in the routine, a moment in time that you're simply taking for yourself, exploring love. And now simply, as the bell will ring, perhaps close your eyes gently, softly, allowing the eyelids to simply close down, as if the eyelids are beautiful soft curtains, gently covering the eyes. Notice the rise and fall of your chest with each breath. Breathe in love. Breathe out compassion and kindness. As you ride the in-breath, simply in your mind, imagine love. And on the out-breath, let it spill from you and surround you. Surrounded by love, spreading love, breathing love. Inviting relaxation and comfort into the body with each breath. Inviting compassion, kindness into your heart and mind. What is love? And for a moment, simply let whatever rise in you come to the surface. You may agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. Simply notice. Notice what comes out. What is love? In your day-to-day, notice how you use the word. Does it carry weight? Is it truly said with intention, or is it simply something else that you say that is part of culture, of habit? What is love? Perhaps you bring to mind a living being that you care for deeply, and this could be human or not. Choose a loving relationship that is simple and truthful. The least complicated, loving relationship of all of your loving relationships. And simply bring it alive in your heart, in your mind, and notice what comes out. Perhaps a great sense of caring, perhaps a sense of joy, perhaps grief if it is someone that you have known and is now lost to you for whatever reason. Bring that into mind and heart and notice. Notice the healing power of love. Allow that sense, that feeling, that state of mind and heart to be heightened now. You can imagine it perhaps as a small light in your heart that is now growing stronger and stronger until the light fills your whole heart, full of light, full of love. And even further than that, extending and expanding outward, letting love touch the surroundings, perhaps first the immediate one, the people that are in your closest circle, even those that may trigger or challenge you. Can you see them bathing in love, infused with the light of your love? And then notice what thoughts come up. How does it get complicated? Is there a series of calculations of what you want, what you don't want, what may be beneficial, what you did for them, what they did for you, what they didn't do for you, despite what you did for them? Words that may have hurt you. And then bring yourself back to love, to that light in your heart, to the depth of that feeling that is beyond all these calculations, that is beyond all these misgivings. How does it feel to be in love? Not this infatuation phase of romantic love, but to truly be your whole being, resting in love, letting go of all else, of all attachments, of all disappointments, for just a moment. Being immersed in love. Thich Nhat Hanh says the Buddha's teaching of love, it has 4 elements. And the first one is loving kindness, Maitri. And that means the capacity to offer happiness. If we're talking romantic love, making that other person happy as you are happy, not at the expense of you, not instead of you, but bringing happiness into the partnership of love. And that is true whether it's romantic love, a friendship, or even love that comes simply from that place. Love for the earth, love for all beings, love for the dolphins in the ocean, for the whales that are endangered, for the tigers in the jungle, for the bees that are pollinating the flowers. Finding happiness and love in how you interact with all the elements of our world, not just people. an aspiration, with kindness bringing happiness to yourself and others. Love. What is love? Compassion is part of true love. The true desire to alleviate suffering in yourself and others. Do you find yourself creating suffering by thoughts that loop and interpret other people's actions in certain ways, perhaps correct, perhaps not? By taking on responsibility for others people's emotions, their delusions, their perspective, by not noticing your own delusions, your own wrongful perspective. Can you see the patterns, the loops that you are running in your life? And while you're here in reflection, resting, bring yourself back to your heart, to the light, to the shining love that is always there with you. It is always within you. You came to the world this way. Love and trust that you're choosing again and again compassion for yourself and for others. True love. And this can be in a romantic relationship. It can be compassion for other living creatures, compassion and care for our earth, for groups of people that are suffering injustice, for friends and family that create great suffering for themselves. Compassion. Reducing the suffering of yourself and others as it comes together with kindness and true desire for bringing happiness. And now, joy, kindness, compassion. Let's add joy. Perhaps it's the joy of spending time with a dear friend, simply sitting, perhaps sharing a meal or a drink, having a conversation, encouraging them, being encouraged by them. Kindness, compassion, the joy of connection, of the depth of love that comes with great forgiveness and letting go. No attachment, no weight, no burden. How wonderful could that be? True love. Take a moment here and see kindness and happiness, compassion and joy, and feel the truth of this love in your heart. And know that as we stumble and fall into attachments and calculations and scorekeeping, this place of purity, of happiness, of kindness, of joy is always right here in our heart. And I offer that you place both hands on your heart space and notice the chest expanding With the in-breath, even more love, even more light. With the out-breath, sending it out to all beings. With the in-breath, bringing it in, the light, stronger. It's filling your heart, and now on the out-breath, sending it out. Kindness, happiness, compassion, the joy of true connection and love. Take it all in deeply. And you may decide to leave your palms on your heart space, on your chest, or let them go and release. As we release all attachment. And the fourth element of true love is inclusiveness. This is to say that you do not exclude, that your heart is big enough, full of love and light enough to include all. You understand that your suffering is their suffering. And that your happiness is their happiness. Perhaps you can bring to mind a situation and you know when you're unhappy with a partner, with a friend, with a child, it brings them unhappiness, always. And when you're in the flow of a true heart full of love and light, you spread this as well, creating a connection like no other. Can we be without attachment? Without keeping score, without taking on the wrongful beliefs and perceptions of others, and ground ourselves in our heart, in the light that is filling our hearts fully and completely, so we can send it out. It is an aspiration, something to work towards every moment of every day, achieving glimpses of it. Perhaps these glimpses becoming more and more spread throughout our day, our week, our life. Just imagine the joy of that way of being, full of love, spreading love, handling with kindness, compassion, joy, and unity ourselves, our friends, and all living beings. What a world would that be to live in? Many of us are facing so many challenges, day in and day out. This time in our lives even if there are no other challenges other than this pandemic, the restrictions, the loneliness, more than any other time, love is required. The healing power of kindness, happiness, compassion, joy, and unity. Sending love to yourself, extending love to those that challenge you, to strangers, to those that oppose you. Reminding yourself that friendships of many years have so much more to them than this act or that act. This word that was perhaps not thought through. That partnership, romantic or others, while there are always fluctuations even when it comes to your own children, the place within you, at the core of you, this light that is shining from your heart, its power is unimaginable. There is no limitation to love. And so allow yourself this moment in time, as you take time for yourself, perhaps hands on the heart if you remove them. Each in-breath, bring in, think, see, love, as if written in letters of light inside your heart. Let the light spread until it fills your heart fully and completely. Let it make you lighter, happier. Let it fill you with joy, love, and then let it spread. Extend it outward, the light of your love shining, healing yourself and others. There is no separation. Love and light. True love. Kindness and happiness. Compassion. The true desire to reduce suffering in yourself and others. The joy that honest, loving connection brings. Even in a small brief encounter with a stranger, you can feel it. And always knowing, coming back to the simple truth that we are all connected. Your suffering is my suffering. Your joy, my joy. Together let us spread love and light whenever we can. Take a moment and simply breathe in love and breathe out light and love. Light and love. Soon the bell will sound indicating the completion of today's practice. As always, I thank you for coming on, for taking time. May your day be full with love. May you spend time with those you connect with in true love. May you spread love all around you. Thank you for joining me. Until we meet again. Goodbye.